Ciao ragazzi, sono la prof. Oggi impariamo a coniugare il verbo al futuro, the verb at the future. When we conjugate a verb at the future, we're talking about an action that will happen. It has not happened yet. Depends what you have studied first, but if you have already studied the conditional, this is a piece of cake because all of the root changes of the future are identical to the root changes of the conditional. The differences are the endings. So this is your chart for regular verbs. So, with all three verbs, are, ere, ire, and isk is not an issue here, you eliminate only the last e, and then here, for are verbs only, the a becomes e. And these are your endings. You want to make sure you have those accents right there. You want to make sure you only have one M here, because with two M's you'll be dealing with a conditional. So to conjugate are verb, lavorerò, lavorerai, lavorerà, lavoreremo, lavorerete, lavoreranno. All of this means I will study, you will study, she will study. In English, you use two verbs to create the future. In Italian, all you need to do is put the right ending and transform the root the right way, and you will have it. As far as the irregular verbs, this is my chart that you're used to seeing. So we have a few categories. This is a category we call sad, cap, VV, and it's right here. Sad. So the verbs are sapere, andare, dovere. Sad. Okay. Cap. Cadere, avere, potere. Vivi, vedere, vivere. Why are these verbs sad? Because they lost a vowel. Okay. So they all eliminate this one, which is the E for all of them except from andare. So there's a little bit of shortening here. Here we go. And one example could be andrò, andrai, andrà, andremo, andrete, andranno. Andrò, andrai, andrà, andremo, andrete, andranno. Back to the big chart. So we just did this one. Then we have the double R verbs. Double R verbs. So how do these verbs work? As you saw, you eliminate a ton here. You only keep the first two letters for all these verbs except from this last one, which is to remain, rimanere. So rimanere remains longer, okay? And then you have rima. And then to compensate for that loss, you're going to add a double R and then your usual endings. For example, venire, this is the example I have, is verrò, verrai, verrà, verremo, verrete, verranno. Verrò, verrai, verrà, verremo, verrete, verranno. Our third category is here, essere, with these other verbs that match it. So essere is always our crazy verb. Sarò, sarai, sarà, saremo, sarete, saranno. The endings are always the same, but your root has changed a lot. But these verbs, stare, fare, andare, sound a lot like it. So, starò, starai, starà, staremo, starete, saranno. Farò, farai, farà, faremo, farete, faranno. Darò, darai, darà, daremo, darete, daranno. Now, these have the A, which should be, if they were regular, they would become an E. But they just stay put and they match stare. Then we have two more categories. The carregare verbs, carregare and carregare, and ciareggiare. So carregare, you add the H for all of them, okay? Because you want to maintain the sound. This is for are verbs, also for the present tense, but that's only valid here and here. And then ciare and giare. So studiare, which is one that you like to think it's in this category, doesn't match. That's just iare. I need the C and the G. Ciare and giare. In that case, if you do have that, you will now not need the I. Okay? It becomes mangerò, mangerai, mangerà, mangeremo, mangerete, mangeranno. So it's right here, you eliminate this, and here you add the H. So these are the irregular and regular verbs at the future tense. Then we have a little issue on how or when you use the future in Italian. So, as I mentioned, the most standard usage is to talk about something that hasn't happened yet. It will happen in the future. We also do have this future of probability, which is a bit unusual, I suppose. That's a word we could use. So, if I have a question, dov'è Luigi? Where's Luigi? If I don't know the answer, I say, boh, non lo so. Instead of saying, you know, maybe he is, I'll just say, he will be on vacation. Sarà in vacanza. So you use the future. An Italian person just hears that as the future. As soon as you say that, when they understand that there's a doubt, that means future of probability. Oggi Maria è assente. Today, Maria is absent. You know, maybe she's sick. Sarà ammalata. This is the future of probability. We also have three little words that often in English are followed by a present tense. And when I learned English, they taught me that in English you can never have two futures in the same sentence. And now I'm teaching you the opposite. In Italian, it's perfectly all right to have two futures, just like you can have two negatives, for example. And these are words that you'll find a lot with the double future. Quando, which means when, appena, as soon as, and se, which means if. Se gets you all confused when you start studying the subjunctive, but we'll save that for the subjunctive unit. But when it really is something that it's the issues that if it will happen in the future, then we'll go with the double future. Allora, quando arriverà sarà stanco. In English, that would be when he arrives, he will be tired. But really, he hasn't arrived yet, so it's perfectly fine to say when he will arrive, he will be tired. Okay, se. So, se farà caldo, andremo al mare. If it will be warm, we will go to the beach, to the sea. Well, it's not warm yet, right? We don't know. So it makes sense that we have two futures because neither of those actions have happened yet. But in English, it's poor style to have repetitions. Scriveranno, they will write, appena potranno, as soon as they can. So you want to remember, because you are trained to not do double futures, when you have these three words in particular, remember it's perfectly fine, it's pretty much mandatory to use double future in Italian. And then we have this thing called futuro anteriore, which means the future in the past future. So basically, this hasn't happened yet, but you might have a furthering time sentence. For example, when I will be 60, I will have taught Italian for 40 years. So I haven't taught Italian for 40 years yet, nor I'm 60. So 60 is your threshold right there. That's your highest point. That's your future. But something will have happened before that. So it's actually the past inside the future. So this is a compound tense. So like all compound tenses, you need a helping verb, and the verb with the meaning will have to be at the past participle. So they will either end in ato, uto, ito, or you might have an irregular verb. Your choice of helping verb is always going to be the same. Essere or avere, depending, and you know those rules. Essere is used with house verbs, and you also want to remember to make the agreements. All of those rules are always the same. However, the combo of present tense plus ato, uto, ito, or irregular is already taken by the passato prossimo. So if you want to give a sense of future and past, this will work for you to indicate the past, and your helping verb being at the future will give the past in the future. Avrò mangiato, avrò studiato, sarò stato, sarò stata, saremo stati. And that's how you build the future past.